Oh yeah, in the afternoon. We love it. It's mean. It's mean when the lights are on. Fire away now. We bring it all. We do a brush back like a soccer player, like a headband. It's good. Let's hang for a couple hours, guys. I'm gonna send a tweet out. Let people know what we're doing here. We're gonna take a look at waivers. We're gonna take a look at the first look. I'll tell you how it's gonna work after the theme song, because the theme song's so good. Why would you? You know? Gotta send the link. Week 3, you feel it? Are you 2-0? 2-0 teams have a 63% of chance of making the NFL playoffs. Fantasy is like 80%. Oh, we're sending tweets. It's less exciting to type when you're watching a live stream. What's going on, gang? It's a midweek checkdown. It's a waiver Tuesday, not to week anticipate for Wednesday. This is how I would like this video to work, and hopefully we can make this so much light coming in on this side. I was expecting the sun to go down soon. Stupid Farmer's Almanac. Here's how I would like Tuesday show to work, okay? I want to do some mental prep out loud with you guys. Maybe take a couple quick questions if anybody's in here, but I don't think anybody is. We're just trying to, you know, stream, give our, you know, let people know that we out here. The pineapple looks really good. Start the stream, hang out, talk about week 2, game by game, go down the schedule, pick a game, talk about it, move on. And then we're going to, like, do a waivers video, right? Do a waivers video, and then so you're watching me like shoot the video, and then I will end the recording, and that video will get posted tomorrow as like a waiver Wednesday first look preview video, and then we can take more questions. So like you're here, you're interacting, then you watch a show, and then you're back into interacting. Like I'm out of character, I'm in character, I'm out of character. I stole this idea from Al Zeidenfeld. It's a good one. You can't even tell this hoodie is pink. The sun is coming in so bright. Let's see if we can call an audible. Yeah, ba ba ba. Yeah, ba ba ba. A little more. That's kind of balanced. I futz with it. Shout out to William Patterson for this D3 lighting video prod education. I'm so out here. Week 2 was crazy. Your number 1 team in football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, your number 1 quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. The leading rusher in the NFL right now is Matthew Breida. So that's where we're living. Yeah. So the number 1 receiver in the NFL is Deshaun Jackson. He's been targeted 9 times. 9 targets for the number 1 receiver. It's like actually lucrative. I need the fire emoji. And then I gotta send this to everybody. You know how it is. We gotta send the logo. We gotta make the plays. We gotta hang out in the chat. Let people know what's Gucci. I need like a boom thing. I don't have a boom chat. I need to GIF it. I can't attach the logo. We gotta GIF it. We search for come inside because we want people to come into the stream. And it didn't search for that. It searched for something else. Now I gotta take this old tweet right here and I gotta send it to my friends. I gotta send this tweet to my friends so they can retweet it. And then we're gonna go down the schedule. I think we might have a step 8 play today. Bihas, if Bihas is in here, let me know. We might get a conference call with Bihas if he's so inclined. Let's talk about your step 8, my guy. Let's talk about your big move tonight. You dig? You Stefan? Boo, 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 boo. Sorry. Dead air, man. Dead air. So, yeah, week 2 definitely set the tone for a cuckoo bananas little season. And we're going to go down the schedule game by game and just talk a little bit about each game and what we can glean. I'm not 100% ready for week 3. Full disclosure. I am informed and I can make this video, but I'm not fully... I want to finish my week 2, close the book on week 2 tonight, and get into the week 3 on Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how I like to approach it. It's a little bit slower. Most analysts close the book on Sunday and Monday. They're also writing articles, and I'm not. So I'm hanging out, and I want to take it nice and easy, go through it one by one, and let you know what I feel about each game and what we can learn. Let me make sure my boom chat is working right, because this actually happened during the show week 2 where I missed a whole bunch of comments. To my right, your left on the screen is the early slate for week 3 millionaire contest. It is a tricky one. So we will do waivers, streaming targets, and we'll look at the early slate. We'll make sure the early slate's popping off. And then we'll get that going real good. This is moving. This is connected. We love it. I could do an Instagram live thing. We're just getting all our ducks moving. I go live on. Do I go live on my personal or go live on Boom DFS? I go live on Boom DFS because people are like, what does Boom DFS do that's live? And I'll be like, wouldn't you like to know? Yep, we love it. Come on. Dead air to the Mizax. Dized is air. Dized is air. Dized is air. What a great first 10 minutes. Haven't said a single thing about football. No, seriously though, Matt Breida is the leading rusher in the NFL. You should actually be worried about it. Right? Just like the thing. Live video. Set up the tripod. Tripod life. Start live video. Start live video. All right, so we're going to go through this week 2 schedule one by one. Then I talk about our waiver targets, and then we'll shoot a video about it. That'll be around 6:40. We'll go from 6:40 to 7. We'll just slam this video. And I can record on my stream. Chop, chop, chop. And then easy. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Oh, I flipped it. This is me streaming. We're streaming on YouTube. Hey, what's going on, Chaz? So, yeah, I'm going to talk about week 2, each of the games, and then we come back, and then I'll do this video like pretend you're not here, and then I'll come back and we'll hang for a little bit else. I'm streaming until 8 o'clock on the Boom app and on YouTube, just flexing on them, just getting my hours, living, talking football, living the dream, absolutely flexing on them. Okay, so week 2, we go in. It's the biggest knee-jerk reaction week in all of football. Underdogs crazy outperform favorites in week 2. I believe underdogs were 8-3 straight up against the spread. Thank you. And it was a big day for learning what we did. So first game was Bengals home underdogs on Thursday night, and we learned that the Bengals offense is explosive. We learned that they are here to stay. We learned that AJ Green is getting moved around in the slot and is going to be another elite weapon again. He's back. We learned Joe Mixon is the realness, but he went out. He got his knee scoped, so now Gio Bernard's going to be a must-add in all formats. He'll be the #1 waiver priority we talk about today. Got to get Gio in your team if you can. We also learned about Tyler Boyd. He's going to out-snap and out-target John Ross until further notice. So that's an adjustment that a lot of fantasy people, my glasses are filthy, a lot of fantasy people weren't really talking about Tyler Boyd. They were very hype on the John Ross potential, but this is the reality of football where we have to manage our expectations and conform them to what coaching staffs are actually doing. So on defense, the Bengals look pretty good. On offense for the Ravens, it was really stressful to see Alex Collins get as light a workload as he could. Obviously, game script plays a big impact in that. Much better. The Ravens were down 3 touchdowns almost instantly, so we can't really judge anything that they did. But John Brown had 90 yards and a touchdown, and that's very interesting. If you're hurting for a wide receiver, when John Brown's healthy, he's immensely talented, and he needs to go in the dream. Behas, what's going on, man? Living T dream. We are so out here. Let me know if you make that stream pick. We gotta get you on an interview later. We'll do a little conference call. We'll put you up. We'll do a late night sweat stream if you're down. I'll crack open a few cold ones. I can't. It's a holiday. So Alex Collins was concerning, and then Buck Allen both caught passes and vultured a touchdown. Super stressful. We'll move on from there. Panthers-Falcons. Panthers defense was supposed to be good. They gave up 31 in the dome. Everybody does that. Atlanta does that to everyone at home, but it was still concerning. Matt Ryan had a couple of really ugly throws. I know we made question mark, is Matt Ryan washed after week 1, but he really had some absolute ducks. What we did learn is that Tevin Coleman is a potential league winner in all formats. If he gets a steady workload, if he's getting 19 carries a game, he's going to be very consistent, mid-tier, low RB1, and that's a huge pickup, a mid-round guy like Tevin Coleman. On the Panther side, they want to get DJ Moore involved, right? It's the first game without Greg Olsen after 1 game with him in the lineup, so obviously a quick boot for him, but DJ Moore is going to get more touches, and Christian McCaffrey might lead the league in receptions. Like, Christian McCaffrey was the pulse of that offense with Devin Funchess and DJ Moore mixed in. On way home now to look things over, but I'll keep you posted if I make that pick. Absolutely, Haas, I got to get your number. I'll pull it, and we'll chitty chat over some Kershaw. So Christian McCaffrey, lifeblood, and then it comes around to DJ Moore and Devin Funchess getting more involved. So if you value those guys low, they look pretty good right now. Colts-Redskins, Colts defense out of nowhere on the road, just stifling a Redskins team. What Colts-Redskins told me more than anything is that the Cardinals are really bad. If the Redskins can travel across country, if the Redskins can travel across the country and do that, and then go home and get waxed by the Colts, who looked super average, I'm going to have a hard time believing that they're going to be an elite team. And I liked the Redskins. I liked Alex Smith. He looked not great. Only putting up 9 points against the Colts is suboptimal. Chris Thompson, however, looked every bit the explosive player that was RB10 when he went out last year. Chris Thompson looks like a massive asset, and I'd be very excited if I got him at the low price of him not being around. I think at the end of 2017, if Chris Thompson was healthy, he would come into this year as a top 25 pick, without a doubt. That's a top 10 running back with great weapons. But at the rate he's going, touches now, he's back in it. So if you can get him at a good price, that's a really good grab. Chris Thompson is a PPR asset, limited workload, but just explosive and a featured part of that offense. Texans-Titans. Another puzzling game for both teams. Without the Titans' quarterback situation remedied, we really don't have a good idea of what to make of them. Corey Davis, again, continued to feed work, but a non-fantasy factor, 5 for 56, I believe. Derrick Henry, very much a concern. Derrick Henry's really got to step it up. I'm hoping the Titans can get some good matchups and get Mariota in there, but even with Mariota, I'm not sure what's going to happen to this team. It's a big concern, and it's amazing that they won this game. The Texans are more worrisome. That's the worst line in football. We joked about the Giants. We joke about the Seahawks. The Texans are the worst line of football. And it showed. They got 1 ball, Deshaun Watson to Will Fuller again. So Will Fuller, 5 starts with Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdowns, I believe. So just an outrageously efficient performance between Will Fuller and Deshaun Watson. But other than that, complete lack of explosiveness. We're not seeing that pop from that Texans team that was dropping 30 points week in, week out. Eagles-Bucks. Tampa doing it again, man. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 75 yards to Deshaun Jackson, first play of the game. Bing, bang, boom. Tampa can't run the ball, though. So if they can get into a real war with somebody, if somebody can stop that explosive offense that we learned about on Sunday. We talked about the offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, being more aggressive, taking deep shots, putting his athletes in position to make plays. Huge for Tampa, huge change for their offense, taking down the champs at home. Nick Foles was not good, and we can throw out everything about the Eagles because Jay Ajayi got hurt and Carson Wentz is coming back. So everything from that first conversation that we had about this team is mute. Chiefs-Steelers. What are you going to do? Patrick Mahomes, fantasy football league winner at this point, on pace to throw 80 fucking touchdowns. It's a family show. It's actually unbelievable what he's doing. The Steelers have real problems in the secondary, but that's not even remotely the reason. Pat Mahomes is throwing into tight windows 9% of the time, so he's literally just hitting open receivers in stride with a fastball and cruising to totes. So on that note, I can't really knock the kid, and we'll be riding with the Chiefs week in, week out. Dolphins, Jets, Ryan Tannehill looked pretty good, both with his arm and with his leg. If Tannehill's going to keep running for 50 yards a game, that's going to give him great QB, two quarterback upside, streaming quarterback upside. Darnold, a little erratic, but did get it in the end zone, so could have had two. Had a play at the end of the half that stopped at the 1 yard line. So this is a team with potential and with high output. The biggest takeaway from the Jets is I don't think any of those running backs are going to be fancy useful if they're just all going to split 11 carries. Hold on. We got a statement from FanDuel about the live wager that happened. Bad odds. The wager in question involved an obvious pricing error inadvertently generated by our in-game pricing system, specifically near the end of the afternoon game between the Raiders and Broncos. We were plus 340. The next play, the Broncos completed a pass, clearly positioning themselves as the favorite of the game. At that moment, our system updated the odds and erroneously posted plus 75,000 on the game to win, when the correct odds to the game were minus 600. Oh my God, that is amazing. Unbelievable. Sorry, Instagram. We just had to break for that FanDuel story. So basically what happened on Sunday is someone at FanDuel Sportsbook went to place a bet on the Broncos to beat the Raiders in the fourth quarter. And it was great because NJ.com phrased it like, NJ.com was like, the Raiders were leading the entire game, and then the man placed a long shot bet on the Broncos to win. Okay, the Broncos were driving in the final minutes and had just completed a 26-yard gain. So this guy's trying to slam the Broncos live with literally 2 minutes left in the game, and instead of being minus 600 like it was supposed to be, it was plus 75,000. So he bet $100 and wanted his $75,000 prize, and they said no, that's a glitch in the system. But because it's regulated sports betting, everyone's like, you have to honor the ticket. Not going to do that. That's a glitch in the system. Pay this dude his $16-17. You don't get paid by taking advantage of glitches. That's not sports betting. I understand they're regulating, but you can't demand that supply be met and then get mad when the system isn't perfect. Like, that's bullshit. Like, we have to reach to a compromise. That guy knew exactly what he was doing, and we just can't be hoping for lottery tickets when we crash the window in a close game. That's such a bad precedent. We're playing for glitches. Sorry, we had to break everything to geez, we had to totally slam the brakes on the show. That's a big story. I wanted to talk about that. That's crazy. It's $80,000, and they're like, no, but we can give you $500 in Giants tickets. And he said no. Like, he said no like a first-time gambler. Like, they do not, nobody else was going to honor plus 75,000. Nobody's going to give you freaking 75,000 for Broncos Raiders live line. It was minus 600, and he caught a glitch. So I cannot be sympathetic to this guy who's like, FanDuel owes me 75 grand. My man, they don't owe you shit. Like, you gave them $100 and they gave you a piece of paper. Yo, what's up, man? Packers, what's going on? The FanDuel story is so nuts. Like, for me, as an experienced gambler who's like played around with live lines, you will see glitches like that. I'll take the glitches. I've had weird plus 200s that I just smash for $100, and as soon as the game ends, the $100 is just back on my account. Glitches are glitches. Snitches get stitches. So this guy can't be butthurt about FanDuel not honoring something that nobody was gonna honor. So I can't fault the guy. The guy should have taken his $500 and his Giants tickets. Instead, he made a big stink about it. He snitched to NJ.com. They blew up the story. FanDuel put out a statement that says tough nuggets. Yeah, honestly, it's not shady. People say it's shady. It's not shady. It's a computer system trying to be as accurate as possible. The thing is updating lines between plays. So you have to respect that technology is working and isn't perfect. We're talking about a 4 o'clock game. People betting all day, all college, all pro. And it happened. It happened. I understand that so what someone said I talked to Seth Yates today on Twitter, his experienced DFS guy, and he said that basically if you give them money and they put the money in the drawer and they print you out a ticket, that's a transaction and they have to honor that transaction. They really don't. You're on their property. Like, I get it. That means, like, government regulation means that they have to honor that transaction. Glitches happen, man. I'm going to respect glitches because I respect the establishment enough that they're cranking out tickets and cranking out this sports book. Like, sports betting is legal. We should be celebrating. Instead, we're duding on FanDuel for making small mistakes. $80,000 to a schmuck I don't know is only a small mistake to everyone but the schmuck who got cheated out of $75,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very small window of people get big mad at it, but I understand why you would get big mad. You have every reason to get big mad at it. So dumb. Do I have YouTube chat? I didn't even realize. Oh, Romero, what's going on in the chat? Sorry, bud. What'd you trade for? I gotta get your sorry. Brandon subscribed on YouTube. Why haven't you? Damn, why is this not? Google Chrome, you garbage fire. Oh, PPR. I just traded for David Johnson, give up Larry Fitzgerald and Tevin Coleman. PPR. Well, if you believe in the Cardinals offense, I love that trade. If you believe the Cardinals can turn it around and you believe in David Johnson's raw ability, that's a really good deal, especially because Larry Fitzgerald's hurt and Tevin Coleman's essentially a rental. But you got to understand the risk there. That's a big-time risk with big-time payoff coming. That's crazy, my guy. Great job. But also, like, you got stones, kid. I don't know if I would be able to pull that off. Let me know how you guys feel about that. He traded Larry Fitzgerald and Tevin Coleman for David Johnson. That's so ridiculous. Placed a $20 bet on a 6-game parlay tonight. Payout was $9.50. Rays, Mariners, Indians, Pirates, Cubs. I want to get on that with you. Oh, my guy's only 3-teamer. I can only do so many things at once. I have the Rays tonight. I have the Red Sox tonight. But I don't have the Indians because Kluber has made enough mistakes that I'm off him for the season. He's blown enough minus 300. Living the good life, DFS. Your DFS site is Cheeks. Where's your DFS site, my man? We cut out giant checks. I got my man Chinook's a $30K winner. If we're giving out giant checks, if I got people turning $2 into $500 and you're not doing ish, what do you want from me, man? You're coming at me on my Instagram live. Like, my DFS site is really cutting out to winners. My DFS site is really unique and different from the rest. My DFS site really has people coming back every day, playing, saying what's good, interacting, building community. So I don't know what you're going to do, just dropping cheeks and bouncing out, but I appreciate it. I don't get that. Where's your DFS site, my guy? But I appreciate that. Let's talk about the rest of the week, and let's get into streaming because week 3 is upon us, and I'm slightly behind schedule. Chiefs Steelers where we left off. Chargers Bills is where we left off. Melvin Gordon's got an upper body thing. Well, we got to look into it tonight. But Melvin Gordon didn't play the second half. Austin Eckler is suddenly a wild, efficient streaming running back target. 11 carries for 77 yards. That's just a nice day at the office. The Bills are awful. Although Josh Allen made Kelvin Benjamin semi-relevant. So if you took a late flyer on Kelvin Benjamin, I wouldn't drop him just yet. Josh Allen makes them slightly better, but he doesn't make them good. Like 20 points in the second half leads me to believe that team can eventually move the ball, but it's going to be a slow roll for the Bills all year. And LaShawn McCoy has messed up ribs. Told someone, start McCoy, high upside. Look at how he does me. Classic Shady McCoy. Beats everyone. McCoy, next game. Vikings-Packers. That's a rough start. Kirk Cousins looked great. Kirk Cousins looked great in the opener, man. Aaron Rodgers tried to do his thing, but the Packers got a blocked punt, touchdown, and a short drive on a pick. So he didn't have to do much. The Vikings had to really work for it. Kirk Cousins was letting it rip. I'm going off Instagram Live, guys, because I'm looking at the wrong camera. A Boom app and YouTube Boom channel. And thanks for hanging. End live video. Get that out of the way. That guy was so weak. Coming in, just hating. Deuce. Pull up the chat. Yeah, Dalvin Cook also banged up. Latavius Murray's a great play this week. We'll talk about him. Pat Packers D down the line is going to be a good play, but the Vikings are the best team in the NFC, and I won't be told anything otherwise. What's going on, Brandon? I've got all my tabs screwed up here. A, D, D, da, da, da. Lifestyle. All right. Browns have a really good defense. They gave the Saints all kinds of problems up front, and they should have won this game. Obviously, we all watched it. Zane Gonzalez missed a field goal, missed 2 extra points, and they lose by 3. Absolutely brutal. Tyrod is throwing really deep and hardly connecting on it. So when they go to Baker, this offense could be crazy explosive. Duke Johnson is a total dud of a fantasy asset. On the Saints, Alvin Kamara, number 1 overall player. Don't at me. Michael Thomas is going to be the best receiver in the league. Don't at me. When you talk about fantasy, you want a hyper concentration of offense. That is the Saints. You have Breeze and Kamara just doing it, and Michael Thomas, number 1 receiver. Ben Watson got in there in the mix, but he's going to be matchup-based streamer, and it's just those 3 guys making it happen. It'd be really interesting to see how Kamara's workload is affected once Mark Ingram comes back. There's a really bad history of guys coming off PED charges and not looking as good, but they want to spare. Kamara's so physical, you want to limit his workload if you can. Lions, Niners, Kenny Golladay is a thing, and I couldn't be more excited about it. That dude's a freak. Talk about jumping off the screen as far as like a talented wide receiver. The Lions are a mess on defense, though, and that's going to be a problem. They're going to be able to move the ball all season. Whenever they go into F-it mode and just let Stafford do his thing, they're going to be able to move the ball on anybody. The problem is going to be, can their defense get pressure? Zeke Ansah still hurt, still out, and can they limit team scoring? Because they can't be giving up 30-plus points every week and expect to be a factor. They're going to go 0-16 like this. But we're gonna stream defense. We're going to stream against the Lions, against that Lions defense. Lions, Bills, Steelers secondary. Those are the teams we're going to work on. Cardinals. Good. Talk about an unwatchable game. The Cardinals didn't reach midfield until the last play of the last drive of the game. Really sad. Todd Gurley, monster. The way the Rams are moving the ball, it seems like Woods, Kupp, and Cooks are all going to be fantasy relevant, which is insane that their output would be enough to keep Goff, the 3 receivers, and Gurley all fed. Higbee's irrelevant. The defense is great, as advertised. Sometimes it's hard to get all the big names and manage them. Damn, the Rams look good. If the Rams and the Vikings played today, I don't know who I would take, but I'd really, really want to watch it with some wings. Pats, Jaguars. The Pats are getting passed by the Jaguars as the best team in the AFC. That's pretty obvious, right? Jaguars defense looked good. Bend don't break. That's what you do against the Pats. It was really more about the Pats' inability to move the ball. I think they had 3 points at halftime. If Gronk has a bad game, what do? They trade for Josh Gordon. We'll talk about that next. Raiders, Broncos. Case Keenum's a thing. Case Keenum's going to have streamer potential. Manny Sanders, every week starter. Phillip Lindsay's a thing. Phillip Lindsay's that guy. We do the video in August where we're like, there's going to be a guy that we don't even know his name, and he's going to be super fantasy relevant. Enter Phillip Lindsay. It's just crazy how those things happen. Every year there's a guy we don't say a single word about, and he comes through like gangbusters, and that guy is Phillip Lindsay right now. So he's got to be... They're going to ride the hot hand in Denver, but he's very hot, especially early in the season. I told you Broncos money line at home, by the way, first 2 weeks. Sunday Night Football, Eli Manning's a dud. I can't talk about the Giants right now. I'm really emotional about it. Saquon, PPR freak, but that's only because the Giants have such a hard time moving the ball that's all they can do right now is dump it off to him. So until further notice, that's going to be absolutely horrible to watch Giants football. The abundance of weapons and the inability to use them. They're a high-powered rocket launcher without a trigger, man. Cowboys, whatever. Zeke and nobody else. I wouldn't want any part of that offense. I don't care what the receivers' names are. They could have traded for Josh Gordon. I wouldn't pick him up on that offense. It's Zeke and nobody else. And even their line isn't that good. Monday Night Football, the Bears' defense is really good. If they're going to bundle up Russell Wilson like that, fine. They put that dude in a straitjacket. I was a big fan. Khalil Mack's a stud. He's gonna be there for a little bit. Jordan Howard banged up. We'll have to wait and see. But Tariq Cohen, PPR asset. Sorry. Really important retweet. yeah, the Seahawks offense is still considerably funky to me with Disley, and the running back situation is so busted. Chris Carson, no touches in the second half. I don't know what that is, man. The Bears offense, that's Mitchell Trubisky's first multi-touchdown game of his career. What do you want there? Trey Burton, thank God. But Trey Burton needs his targets doubled because he's a weapon. And that team has the potential to be good, but it revolves around Trubisky not being erratic. He's an athlete. You know, I almost tweeted this last night, but it didn't really make sense. Trubisky is like the best possible result of a Tim Tebow super masterclass in quarterbacking, right? Because he's not a prototypical quarterback, but you can very much tell that he is a great athlete, like a great athlete. So it's hard for me to identify like where he fits in terms of the franchise quarterbacks, but I can see him run, and I know he's a good athlete, and he makes some throws. It's just so inconsistent. So I guess I leave that blank and think, hey, talk about it, and then bring it up, because it always comes back to question 1. That's actually pretty cool. I can see it like flick, flick, flick. So what I'm trying to do is like talk about the week, then do a streamer waiver wire pickup thing, and then do a boom first look thing. So I put this away, and then I can put pictures here and post, and then I can then bring the week 1 thing up and do a quick breakdown. I'm gonna really like bang through these streamers, and I want to do that in 10 minutes or so. What's going on, YouTubers? Make sure we talk about the Boom app, because that's where we're also streaming this. Two ways. We were on IG Live kicking it before. It's good times. It's good times all around. So waivers. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the names I want to talk about: Fitzpatrick for the immediate, Andy Dalton for a little bit more long term. Some of the more obvious running backs you need to pick up that may be still available are Gio Bernard. We talked about him. He's got to be an instant ad with Joe Mixon out. Matt Breida leads the league in rushing, and I bet you there are 10-team leagues where Matt Breida is a free agent. Like I 100% bet you that there are leagues where Matt Breida is a free agent. I wonder if I can do the zoom on that. Where's bring it in? Technical production. Bring it in. I guarantee you that Matt Breida is a free agent in one of your 10-team leagues. That looks awful. Well, we got to hammer this out. It's early, but your boy's not meant for HD. Always. This hoodie's getting washed out. Had to buy this hoodie because it was pouring in the city. Yeet. I actually, I ate it on the ground today. I fell on the ground in New York City in the rain today. It was like a rom-com, but I'm alone. It was like the worst rom-com you've ever seen because I was alone for it. But I got a hoodie out of it. So, you know, it's buckets. I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm okay with this. So let's go over that, and then let's go over the rest of these waivers, so then we can bang. Huh? All right. There are slurs in my fantasy football trash talk thread. You know when you just pull up a thread of trash talk and you're just like, oh, everyone's mad. Little less. Oh, we can see the... Eventually the white will turn to pink and we can do our video. But now it looks freaking dark. Yeah. Keep the waivers going. I can't believe Matt Brady is going to be available in somebody's league, but Aaron Jones is another guy that needs to be picked up. All right. Jamal Williams had his chance. Jamal Williams had 2 weeks and he didn't do it. And now it's going to be Aaron Jones' turn. He's back from suspension. He's not going to be the every down guy, right? Jamal Williams is a better blocker, but Aaron Jones is going to get looks to take over that job. And if he takes over the job, then he's the guy. So that's a very high upside play. That's a functional offense that he can be in. Keep an eye out for Jay Ajayi news. Corey Clement, impact player. We'll run through these on the show. Wide receiver Keelan Cole, clearly the most talented receiver in Jacksonville. I'm done hearing Dede Westbrook stuff. Marquise Lee out, Keelan Cole elevated. Disgusting Beckham catch against the Patriots. Fast, athletic, beats man coverage, and has great hands. Sold. He's available. Pick him up. Drop Pierre Garçon. Pierre Garçon's not a thing anymore. We tried. Quincy Enunwa is the floor to that play, all right? Enunwa's getting so many targets for the Jets. It's ridiculous. He's clearly the core part of that offense with Robbie Anderson as the deep threat. What a combo. But Enunwa's going to have a decent catch rate and a decent target share throughout the season. Kenny Golladay is going to pass Marvin Jones for the number 2 receiver in Detroit if he hasn't already. He's big, he's fast, he's got great hands, he's a matchup nightmare, and his target share through 2 weeks is so encouraging for a guy that was a rook. It is only in his 2nd season, okay? So Kenny Golladay is a guy that if you can pick up, you should really do it. Antonio Callaway, big play threat, going to replace Josh Gordon in terms of snaps. I haven't exactly looked at the snaps for this game, but Callaway caught the long touchdown at the end, so he immediately deserves a chance. Chris Godwin, number 3 in Tampa. That offense is popping. So if anything happens to Deshaun Jackson or Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's an immediate fantasy asset. Burner with route running and hands, caught a touchdown last week, and is good at football. We talked about John Brown, 90 yards and a tote for the Ravens. If he's healthy, he's producer every week. Every week, he's a matchup problem. He was good in Arizona. Like, he was never not. John Brown was never not good. They just got tired of him dealing with hamstring injuries. And Dante Pettis, especially this week with San Fran taking on the Chiefs. Dante Pettis is an asset. He's going to score this week. Young player that can stretch the field. Haven't heard much about Marquise Goodwin. Let's do a quick Google on him. It's inactive 2 days ago. Marquise Goodwin. Can I get like a practice report? No updates on Marquise Goodwin. I need a Spice Girl. Zigga, zigga. Tight end, Jesse James and Vance McDonald split snaps, but Jesse James ended up with 6 catches for 60 yards. He's going to be a thing. He's got a big thing. So Jesse James goes in, and Disley's a guy too. If you want Disley, he's clearly a part of that offense. Tight ends are a little bit rough right now, but these are guys that you could pick up and have instant potential to contribute. For kickers, is actually a really easy week to add kickers. Sam Ficken is the Rams kicker now that Greg Zuerlein is out. He can immediately go in and be an every week roster with that offense. And Dan Bailey's the Vikings kicker. Same thing. Dan Bailey's an elite kicker with every week startability and one of the best offenses in football. Defenses, grab the Browns. Great coverage, great pass rush. Gave the Saints tons of problems up front, and now they get the Jets on a short week. Should manhandle this week and in the future. Myles Garrett and Ogunjobi. Wait for Larry Ogunjobi to be a thing. I swear to you, Larry Ogunjobi is going to be a thing. If fantasy football had defensive tackles, we would all know more about Larry Ogunjobi. Bears defense. The Bears defense is another thing in like a 10-team league. The thing is they've played 2 primetime games, so if you're in a casual league, that is the ultimate casual play. Like, I see the Bears defense dominating on a national stage, I obviously go pick them up. And the Packers are not a good ad this week, but they have the Lions and the Bills after this week, so feel free to get on that. And that's it. Then we have lines. But we're going to be good here, and we'll run through these. Spice Girl. Zigga, zigga, I become my whole world. I wonder what the ownership is across sites. Someone should really make that website, by the way. that's a tough site to maintain all year round. It's really only useful for like 10 weeks of the season, 10, 12 weeks of the season. Is ownership percentage across CBS, Yahoo, ESPN. I have my fantasy league, so that's how I check ownership. Like, this is what I do. This is when I'm making my ownership percentage articles. This is my home league. And I just go to top ads. Jeez. Top ads drop starters. And I go top ads. Well, you want to do drop too, because sometimes bad players get dropped, and what's without more information. But then I go by position. So you can see, like, quarterback is not going to be allowed here because the position moves much less, you know? Any status, added, dropped. Top week 3 ads. Not a lot of movement. Not a lot of movement. But look at this. Not a lot of leagues are owning these guys. Case Keenum, Tyrod, Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's low. It's low because nobody wants them. Bonkers. But that's the way that is. It's a little bit more robust if you go to something like receivers. See? These guys are low owned though. But it's not the best it's not the most accurate. Like Josh Gordon 5%. I don't really know what that is. So I think those get better as the year goes on, but that's how I do it. Someone should make that website. Someone's got to make that. Someone's got to make that website. All right. So let's make a video. I'm teed up. I'm queued up. I fell on the street and I broke my coccyx. Can we WebMD coccyx? Not safe for work searches. Why is this guy streaming looking at bots? It's a muscular. It's medical research, Mom. It's a family show. It's medical research, Mom. Josh Gordon, though. Let's do one quick thing about Josh Gordon before we start. I'm done hearing Randy Moss comps. The Patriots got a good receiver. It's the Moss year all over again. We just did this with Brandon Cooks. Josh Gordon is a very good receiver, and he's had very good statistical performances in the past decade, but he's not Randy Moss, nor will he ever be Randy Moss. Is he a matchup problem? Maybe. Is he an injury liability? Constantly. So have him on your team. If you have Josh Gordon on your roster right now, and you can trade him for a top-end wide receiver, I suggest you do it. Because there aren't many of those, and you want consistency, and upside, and you only get one of those with Josh Gordon. You get massive, massive upside, and that may end Sunday, right? He might not even get healthy. It's a hamstring. It's a hamstring. Major muscle injury on a high-performance player like Josh Gordon. So I don't want to hear, I told you not to drop him, so that go me, but I'm not going to be like, he's not an every week starter because he's wearing Patriots and Tom Brady's his quarterback. So that's how I feel about that. Okay. Okay. So let's get settled. Waivers. Let's do Josh Gordon, waivers. We'll do position by position. Deeper. Those are some deeper guys. I'm highlighting guys so I can just wrap up and talk about it. This is how we do it. That's your deeper option. These are layups. Okay. Now we hit record and we get ready to make a video. Oh my God. Cracking knucks. 4, 3, 2. Oh, it just comes right back. All right. And we can stop and start whenever we want. Hey, Ayush, what's going on? How you doing, man? Thanks for hanging in. We're streaming. That's what we're doing. We're doing waiver stuff. I'm about to make a waiver video. So you can see my takes. And I'm not going to answer any questions for the next little bit. And then I will end the video. And then I'll come back and we'll hang for like 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes. The video is going to take less. This video is going to take 10 minutes. And then I'll come back and we'll chat for the next hour. But Ayush, let me know how you did this week about your matchups. I want to hear about it. I'm a fan of your team. And let's fire this off. Oh, Jeff, Best Buy. Yo, what's going on, boomers? Week 3 is fast upon us. I'm actually in the middle of a live stream on YouTube and on the Boom Fantasy app, and we're going to talk about waiver looks and our first analysis of the Week 3 early slate on Boom Fantasy. But first, I want to talk about the Josh Gordon situation because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. I didn't tell you to drop him. I told you to keep him in your roster in case he got traded. Boom, what happened? Now I think it's time to flip it, right? If you can get a high-end wide receiver for Josh Gordon, you absolutely need to do it. You want someone with consistency and touchdown upside. And right now, Gordon only has one of those things. So if someone on your league is buying into the hype, by all means, become a seller. Don't overreach. Don't feel like you need to move this asset. But I don't believe Gordon is a league winner. I think he'll be a nice piece who can occasionally contribute. I am done hearing the Moss comps, okay? Brandon Cook, we did the same thing with Brandon Cooks. Now we have Josh Gordon coming over to New England, finally gets a quarterback for the first time in his career. Josh Gordon has done some nice things this decade, but mostly he's been inconsistent and off the field. He's also got a hamstring injury, a major muscle group that he could strain at any time and get back on the sidelines. And the Patriots are a little bit incentivized for him to not play because if he doesn't hit 10 games, they get a compensatory pick. So try to flip Josh Gordon if you can, or hang out and he'll have boom or bust weeks based on matchups. Now let's get into the waiver picks for week 3. I got some for every position, some for these smaller leagues, and then a deeper league option for some of the positions. Let's get into it. At quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. We get at least one more week of this explosive offense. Todd Monken is pulling the strings. Fitzpatrick is just out there wheeling and dealing like the Harvard Review. But I also like Andy Dalton. That offense has gotten an uptick. AJ Green is getting moved around. He's getting elite usage. Tyler Boyd coming into his own. Tyler Eifert healthy. The upgrades on the offensive line have really showed, and Andy Dalton could finish this season as a top 15 quarterback easily. Running back, we're going to stay with the Bengals, where Giovanni Bernard becomes a must-add immediately. Joe Mixon is going to miss 2 to 4 weeks with a knee scope, and it's time for Bernard. When he was in the lineup last year, he was top 10 over the last few weeks when Mixon was missing time. He's a PPR asset and will get a lot of work. Get him in your lineup, get him on your roster. If you're in a smaller league, there's a good chance Matt Breida is available on waivers. You know Matt Breida leads the league in rushing, like the whole NFL in rushing as a running back. You need to get Matt Breida on your roster right now, and if you're in a 12-team league, this probably won't apply to you, but that's okay. You can look at an Aaron Jones who comes back from suspension this week. He's not going to be the all-purpose Packers back, but he is the best rusher. Jamal Williams had 2 games to earn his name, earn his claim in the backfield. He didn't do it. He's a decent blocker, but Jones is the best runner and will ultimately steal that role. I also like Latavius Murray to stay in the division. Dalvin Cook a little banged up. Murray consistent. They're playing the Bills. Case closed on Murray. Wide receiver, Keelan Cole is clearly that dude. I'm done with the D.D. Westbrook stuff. Marquise Lee out for the season. Cole becomes the immediate starter, makes a Beckham catch versus the Patriots. I don't need any more proof. I'm going to get him on a roster. Probably not available in most leagues. Quincy Enunwa is a thing. He's not available in any of my leagues because I live on the East Coast and Jet fans are bonkers, but he's very much a consistent part of that offense, and 8 targets a game, book it, book it, book it. Book it. Kenny Golladay is a guy I was really excited about last year, and to see him get this many targets through 2 weeks is absolutely thrilling. He's going to usurp Marvin Jones as the number 2 receiver on that team, and he is a deep threat with great hands who can win matchups. Kenny Golladay needs to be on a roster in your league. If you're in a deeper league, look at someone like Antonio Callaway, all right? Didn't get a ton of snaps in the Browns game against the Saints, but did catch the 75-yard touchdown to end the game. He is a big play threat who can win in man coverage. No more Josh Gordon, more looks for Callaway. In deeper leagues, I think he's a really good option. And John Brown should be available everywhere. 90 yards and a touchdown. Look, the Cardinals never had a problem with John Brown. He could just never stay healthy. So if John Brown's going to stay healthy for the Ravens, he'll be an immediate week in, week out fantasy asset. Tight end is kind of slim pickings, but why not Jesse James? Him and Vance McDonald had an almost equal snap share against the Chiefs. James still pulled down about 6 catches for 60 yards. That's good enough in deeper leagues to have a nice day at tight end. You just want double digits PPR from your tight end, some touchdown upside when they get into the red zone. Hey, Antonio Brown's not going to show up. Why not Jesse James? Kicker is actually really easy this week. You got Sam Ficken, who's the Rams backup kicker. Greg Zier. Oh my God, I can't believe I messed up Big Z's name. Kickers are really easy this week. Greg Zuerlein is hurt. That's going to be a multi-week groin injury. Sam Ficken is now the kicker for the best offense in football. Get Ficken kicking in your lineup. Had to do it. And Dan Bailey has come out of free agency / retirement. Do kickers ever retire? Were they ever really active? He's got a nice deal with the Vikings and is now kicking for one of the best teams in the NFC. So that is 2 of the best offenses in the league now have free kickers available. Go get them if you need a kicker. On defense, I think the Bears are going to be hard to pick up in smaller leagues that are more casual because they've played 2 primetime games to start the season and they've looked great in both. So if you have Khalil Mack doing Khalil Mack things on Sunday night and Monday night, Gary Office League is going to pick, Gary Office League is going to pick him up first thing because he's watching it. It's visual evidence. But I think the Browns defense is a real winner. They get great pressure up front. They're good in coverage and they get the Jets on Monday night. If fantasy football had defensive tackles, Larry Ogunjobi would be a thing, right? So I feel like when you see the Jets play the Browns on Thursday, we'll learn a little bit more about Larry Ogunjobi. But Larry Ogunjobi and Myles Garrett are going to be an amazing tandem for the Browns line. Larry Ogunjobi. So those are some waiver targets to keep an eye on for week 3. Now let's take a look at the Boom fantasy slate, the early slate for week 3. This is 8 questions to win you $1 million. I'm going to do a video on this with Daily Fantasy Insider later in the week, but let's just crack on it right now. I haven't seen any of these hardly. Kirk Cousins versus Mahomes. That's a volume play because Cousins is going to be playing Buffalo. So I'm going to go with Mahomes because there's a chance that he's going to be more active, but he's hardly throwing the ball. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute freak. 10 touchdowns first 2 games, but his attempts have been much lower than Cousins. So it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think Cousins is going to have to do much passing in the second half. So I think that's an easy one to move on. I usually have an easy time with passing yards as for Boom questions, and then we move in. Most rushing yards, immediately a little tricky. Lamar Miller, Matt Breida, Kareem Hunt, and Saquon Barkley. Miller and Barkley are actually going against each other. Breida's got a decent matchup against the Chiefs, but might not get a bigger workload because he's splitting with Alfred Morris. Kareem Hunt is a very good option, but they have not been running the ball. I'm going to go with Hunt against a soft-ish Niner defense, a defense that Mahomes can exploit. I'm going against Breida just because of workloads. If it was total RB yards, I'd go Breida, but I'm going to go Hunt. Most receiving yards, question 3, Julio, Michael Thomas, Tyreek, and Stephon Diggs. That's another tough one. For me, I'm going to start Michael Thomas every week until proven otherwise. The Saints are playing the Falcons this week. That's a good matchup for them. And Michael Thomas is getting an insane target share as opposed to the rest of these guys. Julio Jones is an option. He's been inconsistent for me. I'm just going to ride Michael Thomas until that solves itself. This is a little sloppy. It's a first look. Most receptions, Alvin Kamara, Zach Ertz, Odell Beckham, and Jordan Reed. I would like Odell Beckham to lead this in receptions, but Eli can't throw it 8 yards past the line of scrimmage. So it's been nothing but Saquon in the passing game for the Giants, and that's so sad. Kamara, Ertz, Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's pretty intriguing D-bet. So is Ertz, but Kamara is just such a workhorse, and that game could be pretty high scoring. Let's go Ertz. Carson Wentz is back. We're going Ertz. No other receivers. It's Ertz and Aguilar. So I'm going Ertz there. Going to be most targeted for sure. Most total touchdowns, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, or Nelson Aguilar. This is an interesting one. I like Devontae Adams, but he's going to draw Josh Norman in coverage a lot of the time at Washington, but he's scored in back-to-back games. Travis Kelce's just been a freak, but Jaquiski Tartt does a great job shutting down tight ends, the Niners safety. Let me go Hopkins. Hopkins always, and the Giants have just been abysmal. So Hopkins in a jump ball situation, tasty every time. Most passing touchdowns, Breeze, Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's been he's been doing the Eli thing and the Derek Carr thing, but wildly efficient, so nobody's noticing. Passing touchdowns, I'm going to go Drew Brees. He's hot. They don't even run at the goal line. They'll swing it out. Rodgers, in Washington, he's had nice games, but I'm just concerned with the knee. Give me Drew Brees there. Pretty easy. Emmanuel Sanders, receiving yards. He's been a stud, and he's been getting solid target share. 116 is a lot. Denver on the road for the first time this year. 99. Just short of 100. No, 105. 105. He can get there, I believe. He's just so good. And Demaryius Thomas is dropping passes, so even more of the action can funnel towards Sanders. Sanders is catching, I think, over 80% of his targets. Just a freak. Adam Thielen, man. That one catch for a touchdown was such a fluke, but it put the Vikings in position to tie that game. But Adam Thielen's really tough number to get on yardage. He's not a 100-yard guy, and that game was against Buffalo, so I don't see big plays. I don't see sustained offense for the Vikings. I don't even see Thielen playing that much. 87, but a touchdown for Thielen. And people are going to be like, oh, he gets red zone usage now. He's a stud. I just gave you guys $1 million. You're welcome. That's it. That's the Boom Early slate. Boom. First look. That's First Look Wednesday. Let me close that. That's it for First Look Wednesday. This video is going up from a Tuesday live stream. If you want to catch it live, you watch us right here on the YouTube channel or in the Boom Fantasy app. Rick signing off. I'll see you Thursday for Thursday Night Football. Browns Jets. You heard? And then we end the video, right? So we stop recording. And now we can hang out for another hour. I told you that wouldn't take long. This is a twofer. That's a twofer, baby. What's going on, Billy Bob? Billy Bob popped into the show, saw me ranting and raving, got in on it. What's Gucci, kid? I'm going to take this hoodie off. You boy's getting hot. How long did that take? That was only like 15 minutes. Who's Denver playing? I didn't even pick that up. I totally spazzed on who was playing who. Denver at Baltimore. Yeah, I shouldn't have. I don't know. Jimmy Smith out. So what I was reading today that the Ravens always keep their corners on the outside. They're like more committed to outside corners than most teams. So what the Bengals did is they just put AJ Green in the slot and he just dominated the whole first half. I didn't think it was going to be that easy. Didn't know you was on during the week. It's a new thing with Boom, man. It's a new thing with Boom. We're trying to stream multiple days during the week. We're trying to be a constant media presence. We're trying to be an empire, you know? We're just trying to can't stop, don't stop. But last year I did not. That is correct. Last year there were 0 streams. So this is me, Hawking Boom, Hawking Fantasy, Hawking Waivers. Check this out. You want to see who we should stream against this week? Let's check the official Boom Fantasy stream schedule. Oh, it's the Buffalo Bills. So this is the Derrick Henry game, week 5. If Derrick Henry doesn't have 100 yards against the Bills, I'm dropping him. I can't do it. I can't deal with another season of Derrick Henry, 12 carries for 36 yards. I cannot and will not deal with it. I don't understand. Watching Derrick Henry in the regular season makes me wonder how I got so obsessed with him in the postseason. He was so good. But watching him watching him the past 2 weeks, oh my God. So frustrating. And Deion Lewis looks good. That's what's got to be frustrating for Titans fans. Deion Lewis looks like he can actually play. So what are you supposed to do now? Now what are you supposed to do? Billy Bob, make sure you deposit into the Boom app and send me a screenshot because we got a Boombox, you bud. Remember Boombox? I want to put you on the emoji board. I'm going to get you into a drawing for NFL swag. We're going to get you some cheap bobblehead action, but it's mostly about the Boom swag and some autographed NFL gear. It could be a jersey. It could be a full-size helmet. It's the Boombox, patent pending, and it's coming to you. Send me that deposit screenshot. Asher, Billy, Ayush, you should all be playing on Boom. I don't know why you're not. Because you don't like money. Like, I just sat here and gave you the answers to $1 million contest, and y'all like, nah. Like, it's pretty good information, my guys. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Should I trade Thielen, Mark Ingram, and Lynch for Mixon and Keelan Cole? Ooh. That's a really tough one, my guy. Mixon, knee injury mid-season is a big worry for me, and Keelan Cole is a pass option on a run-first team, so right now I don't want to do that. Marshawn Lynch has flex appeal pretty much every week with his workload. Mark Ingram's coming. I would rather try to work out a solo deal for Mark Ingram. Like, if you could just do Mark Ingram for Keelan Cole and then move from there, it might not be the worst thing to do, you know? But it's hard to make a sell on a player that hasn't played yet. But the way the Saints offense is moving, you could just send him Mark Ingram highlights from last year and he'll bite. But I think Thielen's a stud and is the #1 target in the Vikings offense. I think he's just great. So I think Cole Thielen is a wash. Looking at grabbing Disley off the waivers, Ebron is killing my Doyle production. Yeah, Ebron's been a killer for Doyle. I've been an Ebron guy, and I knew this was going to happen, but the problem is the volume is to the point where it's neither, because 1 and 1. 1 and 1 equals 0 when it comes to the Colts tight ends and really the Colts running backs at this point. I have luck to Hilton in my home league, and that's been paying dividends, but everything else is a wash. But Jordan Wilkins is the guy who I'm weighing all my waiver decisions against. Like, would I rather have this Quincy Enunwa or Jordan Wilkins? Because if you're going to get the pass catching back from the Colts, it just feels like that's a good deal because the Colts are going to be able to move the ball consistently. So it's honestly tough to pull one. But Disley was consistent. Disley got snap counts. Can we look up Disley snaps? Will Disley is being used to both widen max rush angle and chip off the snap. I want snaps. 47 snaps to Nick. Look at Bob. Look at Bob Condata coming through with the clutch. My man at the Seattle Times. Bang. Look at that. 47 snaps to Nick Vanette's 26. Yep, look at that. But that's facts. Listen, it's about snaps. It's about being on the field and active. Matt, look at this top comment. I love this. Thank God he put the sarcasm up. Vanette still the starter, just gas after playing special teams. That's what Pete Carroll actually used to say for Chris Carson. He was gassed from playing special teams. That's so stupid. But yeah, Disley's the #1, and that's big, man. That's big. But, you know, something that is worth talking about, something that's worth talking about, which is hard to account for, is that was a garbage time touchdown, my guy. That touchdown occurred in garbage time, like garbage time. Game, 2-score game, final minutes. So nothing really matters in that. Why is Jordan Matthews trending? Ooh, Jordan Matthews coming in for a visit to Eagles. Pretty sure I just saw former Eagles wideout Jordan Matthews walking out with a smoothie in hand. I say that tongue in cheek. It was him. Nice. Pretty sure. He Oh, man, I'm on the Boom account. I want to say he was uncertain about the smoothie. It was the smoothie. I'm sure it was Jordan Matthews, but I don't know if it was a smoothie or some sort of horchata. Oh, geez. I thought I was reacting to NFL news, and it's just stories. Jordan Matthews, team needs to sign a wide receiver, and he knows the offense. Look like he may be in uniform this week. Oh, this is not nice, but I need I need to find out where this guy got Nike brick images because I need to start putting them on people. The Nike bricks is a really, really nice touch. Who should I be trading for if I need an RB1? Asher, that's a really good question, man. Let me get in the right mindset for that. With the O-line and no run game, would make sense for Wilson to throw short passes to the... Yeah, 100%. That's why Carson should be such an asset, but it's not happening. But yeah, that's why Dissly could get an advantage. If Disley's playing more snaps and no Baldwin, like the team is just short on weapons in general. That's why Penny is slowly evolving into an asset. I'm glad we all talks about not dropping Penny, even though he was non-existent week 1. Who should I be trading for if I need an RB1? If you need an RB1, that's like an interesting question. And not because it's simple and the best questions are simple. Let's bring it back let's bring it back here. So these are the top scoring leaders in fantasy. Let me know if it's PPR or non-PPR, Asher. Kamara, Gordon, Gurley, Connor, Chris Thompson, Barkley, McCaffrey, Zeke, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Matt Breida, James White, Adrian Peterson, Philip Lindsay, Jay Ajayi. I just want to point out that there's a very small amount of functioningly good running backs. There's not a lot of running backs that are actually like doing good. 100 yards through 2 games. Like, this is 12 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, more than 12. 18, 19, 20, 22 guys that have scored over 100 yards. And one of them's hurt. And most of these guys are backups. So the running back position is just as toxic as it usually is. Half PPR. Drafted bad if you need an RB1. Billy Bob, I love David Johnson. But we gotta face facts here. Look where we are, man. If you picked in the top 4, Billy Bob, if you picked in the top 4 anytime in August, if you picked in the top 4, there's a legitimate 50% chance that you're fucked right now. It's a family show. It's a family show. But think about it like this. If you picked, oh, this is whack. If you picked a running back, if you picked in the top 4, nobody was taking AB 4th overall over one of these running backs. It was Gurley, it was David Johnson, it was Le'Veon Bell, it was Zeke, and it was no dispute. If you picked 4th, you got who fell to you. So if you picked in the top 4 anytime in August or earlier, there's a 50% chance you are boned right now. 50%. I grabbed Gurley with the number 2 pick. Congrats, you're on the other 50. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This isn't about you. But there are a lot of owners who are staring at Le'Veon Bell on their bench every week. There are owners who have to consider, do I start David Johnson this week? It's a real question that is insanely concerning. Immaculate's not the right. Immaculate's like a positive. But like, look at these running backs in top. This is not fantasy scoring. This is rushing yards because these are running backs. But look at these names like Austin Eckler, TJ Yeldon, Jamal Williams, Carlos Hyde. These are the bottom guys. Fantasy points. So 20 points after 2 weeks. There's maybe 30 guys here. It's not great. I'm not looking at it again. These are all the guys that have at least 20 points, and Kareem Hunt's down here with 19.9, Alex Collins with 18.9, Shady McCoy with 13.9. These are top picks that are bombing hard. So I don't know what to, and look who's, David Johnson, 23.8. It's really, really rough, man. 6 catches. So if it's half point PPR, never had faith in Johnson after that injury. It was a wrist injury, Billy Bob. That was not the reason to sour on David Johnson. It was a wrist injury. Like, there was no good reason to sour on David Johnson for his injury history. That was just absolute hogwash. You do it because of Mike McCoy, and you do it because you didn't think the team would be any good. But even then, his PPR tendencies and his past usage would lead you to believe that he would still be a volume monster. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't touch the ball on 50% of their plays. He's by far and away their best player. It's insane. Look at this, 20 catches. Christian McCaffrey, Chris Thompson, Saquon, Melvin Gordon, Alvin Kamara, Theo Riddick. These are your catch leaders. James White. James White's going to lose place to Sony Michel. So here's where we are. We have to grab a running back, and we have to, based on these 2 weeks, think if he's going to finish in the top 12. Who are these guys going to be? Kamara. Can I? Nope. Kamara is straight. Gurley, straight. I think Chris Thompson is a guy you should be trading for. I think Christian McCaffrey is a guy you can trade for. I think Matt Breida is a guy you can trade for. I think Philip Lindsay is a guy. Are these going to be RB1? I don't know. I'm getting to Tevin Coleman. Did I pass Tevin Coleman? No, he's right here. I didn't get there yet. Tevin Coleman is the next guy on this list. 100% you should be trading for Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman has league-winning potential. Devontae Freeman has a chronic knee injury, a knee injury that ended his season last year, and the same knee flared up at the start of this year. It's a problemo. Jordan Howard could be a league winner. 14 for 35 is not enough, but that's rough. 4 targets for 33 yards. At least he's catching passes, which had nothing to do with him before. Something tells me that I still think David Johnson can bounce back, and now would be a great time to buy. Brandon started the chat today. Freeman concussion prone, 100%. That's a great point, Billy Bob. Brandon started the show telling me I just traded David Johnson for Larry Fitzgerald and Tevin Coleman in PPR. I think that's a great trade for both teams because one person clearly wants to win now, and they want Tevin Coleman now. But for you to acquire David Johnson for 2 fringe starters like Larry Fitzgerald and Tevin Coleman, who are solid starters, but Fitzgerald's banged up and Tevin Coleman could go back to the bench at a later time. But you're getting one of the top 4 players in fantasy. Like, trading for David Johnson at this point is a massive risk with league-winning upside potential. I'm not telling you to do it. I still think a player like Chris Thompson is a guy that's flying just massively under the radar, getting a limited workload, but at the same time, a star, like a bona fide star. Saquon the same way, but that offense is bad. Saquon I really don't know what to do with because he jumps off the screen. He is so freaking good at making people miss, but the team's not, it's 11-on-1. So if I had to trade for an RB1, I would probably dump the bag for Todd Gurley because he shows absolutely no signs of slowing down. Played 49 of 72 offensive snaps in a 34-0 win. Like, what? Gurley calling himself fine after the game. He'll take on lead duties per usual Sunday against the Chargers. Oh, cramps? Temperatures in the mid-80s in LA? Dude, whatever. Cramps. If you can trade for Todd Gurley, that's the RB1, my guy. He's going to do it again, I think. I liked everyone else's up. I like David Johnson's big play potential and receiving upside. I think in that vacuum, he's just as good as Todd Gurley, but they could not play on more different offenses right now. It is insane. And who would you trade for him? Who would you be your dancing partner? These guys, Tyreek Hill, great option. Can only regress. Deshaun Jackson can only regress. Deshaun Jackson has 200, can you see this, guys? 275 yards on 9 freaking targets. 9 freaking targets. What are you supposed to do with that? Look at all these, look at these target numbers. Antonio Brown has 33 targets. Almost 4 times the amount of targets as Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson leads the league in receiving yards. Michael Thomas is 6 yards behind with 21 more targets. That is stupid. That is just dumb. That is so many more targets. I mean, Tyreek Hill, the same way, 14 targets, big play guy. But we want volume like Juju. Juju is so out here so far to start the season. I was wrong about him. I said he had bust potential, but he is getting open. He is taking advantage of his opportunities, and he is having a great start to the season. So who would I trade for an RB1? I would probably trade Keenan Allen. Not because I think he's bad. I think he's actually great. But if you're going to trade Todd Gurley, you have to trade a name. And I think Keenan Allen's in a little bit of a regression because they love Melvin Gordon. They love Austin Eckler, which means much more ground potential. The Chargers are going to be winning more, not chasing games. And the other receivers are coming into their own. Mike Williams and Tyrell Williams. Rivers is... It's not that he's trusting them more. It's that they're bigger. So Phillip Rivers would rather throw into traffic to them than a smaller guy like Keenan Allen who could get bullied off the ball. Beckham's another guy who I would look at trading for a Todd Gurley if you can. If you're a Todd Gurley owner, I don't see how Beckham could be a fair trade for you, but it's obvious that if Beckham can get the ball, he'll absolutely shred, but it's been a huge problem, man. It's been a huge problem. Michael Thomas, still number one scorer, though. Michael Thomas for Todd Gurley swap? I wouldn't. I'd hold on to Michael Thomas. You understand, like, we are 2 weeks into the season, and owners are going to be clutching their running backs like pearls because we saw the drop-off in running backs is so significant. It's significant. And when you look at the receivers, yo, I'm on the bottom of the receivers page, and I still got people here. I still got Bobby Woods down here. I still got Mike Williams down here. I still got Amari Cooper down here. Demaryius Thomas, Will Fuller's catching touchdowns every week down here. Tyler Boyd's a waiver guy. These are guys that have 20 points in 2 games. So if I go to the bottom of the list, I'm guessing this is 50 names, just the way ESPN sets it. 50 names, the bottom name is scoring 21.2. Running back, 50 names. The bottom name is scoring 10.9, and it's Malcolm freaking Brown. And this is backups. This is guys that'll never get started. So there are always more productive wide receivers. Always going to be more productive wide receivers than running backs. So if you're going to try to land one of these top running backs, you should be trying to deal a top wide receiver, because there's a high chance you're going to be able to get another one. But these top tier running backs they're just not enough for every team in the league, let alone one for you right now. If you're just joining the show, we're trying to work on trades. We're trying to work on deals and trying to get an RB1, man. Trying to upgrade my squad, RB1. I used to think that quarterbacks were not good trade assets. There's actually a guy, I'm in a pretty casual league at home, and there's a guy with rostering 4 quarterbacks right now. It's a league record. You go all the way to the bottom, so you only have like 30 guys that have scored. But a couple 15ers down here, Luck. I didn't expect Luck and Alex Smith to be this far down here. And it's not because they're bad. It's almost the opposite. It's because Fitzpatrick and Mahomes have just been so bleeping good. Like really good and aggressive. Like, this is no surprise. Rivers, Cousins, Breeze, Ben, Cam. But you got to love Aaron Rodgers down here. You know, a little 3rd round pick, QB9. You got to love Blake Bortles and Andy Dalton outscoring Aaron Rodgers. Hey, look at me. Look at what I'm looking at. Look at what I have highlighted. If you are going to come into my show and argue that quarterbacks can be drafted early and it's still okay, this is why. This is why My Chemical Romance is not okay. It's not okay. Because Andy Dalton, Blake Bortles, Phillip Rivers, and Ryan bleeping Fitzpatrick are blowing away Aaron Rodgers. And Tom Brady, by the way. Tom Brady's 4 points behind Rodgers. And Russell Wilson's a touchdown behind both of them. So is Deshaun Watson going 3rd round. We talked about it. If you drafted Deshaun Watson because you thought he was going to be the same as he was last year, you should have drafted him in the 2nd round because he's going to win MVP. But now I liked Andrew Luck a lot. He's sitting here at 30 points. Kind of okay with it. Not enough. I don't want to trade for one of these guys, though. This is stupid. I could just go, like, why would I trade for Drew Brees putting up 49 points? Andy Dalton's putting up 6 less. For free! For free! For now. Yes, for now. Aaron Rodgers is 1 6-touchdown game from vaulting his way up. But I tell you what, he is a full game behind guys like Mahomes and Fitzpatrick, Cousins, He's going to trail those guys for a few weeks, and he's on a bum knee. That being said, the Packers have Buffalo and Detroit in the next 2 weeks. So the Packers are on their way, vaulting up the standings. Let's look at a stat that I really like. Fantasy points by position. Now, this is another game, another one that's like 2 weeks into the season. It makes it really tough to evaluate. But it is super interesting for streaming purposes, for waiver purposes, for DFS purposes, just for matchups. Like, we know which teams have given up the most points to quarterbacks because I can count all the high scoring games from the first 2 weeks of the season. But when you get to like 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in, you can kind of forget that the Packers are ass against quarterbacks, right? You can kind of forget that the Chargers have struggled against the pass. But this Chargers game, I mean, this is one game against Patrick Mahomes and one game against Josh Allen. So there's so little that we can do. This information has to be taken with a grain of salt. But I don't know who's allowing the most points to wide receivers. Look at the Titans. Most points to wide receivers. They give up a long Hopkins touchdown. They give up a long Fuller touchdown. They give up 2 long Kenny Stills touchdowns. Now they're playing Keelan Cole. This is what we're doing here. This is why we're looking at this. B. Haas has made his pick. B. Haas. B. Haas. Man, you said you were going to let me know. You did it. All right, so I guess we're streaming again later. I guess we're doing a sweat stream tonight. Fudge me. It's a long night. If y'all don't know, we got a Streaks game at Boom. And what you do is you enter one question at a time, one slate at a time. You try to turn $1 into 10 grand, $2 into 20 grand, 25 cents into 2,500. And he made his pick. Damn, damn, damn. What's the pick tonight? What's the pick? What's the pick? We might flip this into a baseball show, my guys. We might just start talking about baseball. Oh man, so we'll end this in a couple minutes, and then we'll get in touch with Bihas, one of our Boom users, and we'll get him in a live sweat stream, and we'll get the stream up, and we'll hang out, we'll watch some strikeouts, we'll mess around on some Boom stuff, we'll talk football. I gotta work on some trade stuff. I'm gonna talk to my buddy Don about some trades. Damn, that's crazy. So he's going to go for it. We got a guy playing for 10 grand tonight on Boom. Of course, of course, of course. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see this? This is a really good way to do things. This is technology at its finest. So there's a pyramid. Yeah, we see it. See the pyramid? And that's our boy at the top. Going for 10 grand. Can I make it a little bit clearer? Yeah, it's clear. There it is. Something about putting a light on a light doesn't work. Ooh, the angle of the dangle. So he's climbing up one question at a time, turning $1 into 10 grand on the Boom app. And he's going for it tonight, baby. He was in the Boom chat before on his way home from work. He got home, did some research, and locked it in. What's going on, Jack? How we doing? We're doing some waiver stuff. We've been talking. I'm about to pop my hoodie, and I'll answer any question you got. So basically what happened now is we got our guy. What? All right. My phone's blowing up with the official Boom line. What's going on, Jack? Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna do this Tuesday first look stream. Woo! I should let people know we're popping. The fans need to know. I took my hoodie off. Guy says that's what we like to see in chat. Oh, it's a big mood. I need some dinner ASAP, Rocky. But yeah, the waivers this week are pretty easy. And we are just trying to figure out what the we got to figure out who's bad. That's what we're looking at right now. Sorry, I got totally thrown off by one of our contestants going for 10 grand tonight. So the Saints, Titans, and Chiefs. The Bears are giving up a lot to wide receivers. I mean, they got torched for 3 touchdowns by Rodgers, so I guess that makes sense. The Packers got torched for a couple of long touchdowns. The Diggs long touchdown. Basically, all the teams that have given up long touchdowns are here. Who the Niners play 2 against? 1 against the Vikings and 1 against the Lions. So yeah, they belong up there. I want to see like an anomaly that didn't get picked apart. Like the Bengals didn't really get picked apart. The Bengals played a close game against the Colts, and the Bengals blew out the Ravens. So it was a heavy passing script. Torn between Lindsey, Hyde, and Collins this week for starting one of them. Hyde's not a bad start. Collins has been a major concern for me. I might have to shelf Collins until I figure out what's up with that. But Lindsey's been a dude, man. Lindsey's been really interesting. But you got Denver and Baltimore going against each other. Hyde is a solid matchup against the Jets in a game they could be winning, so that's worth a look. I can't believe they've phased out of their they really phased out Duke Johnson. Like Duke Johnson's getting nothing. Sorry, guys. We got to send a work email. So, yeah, we got a guy going for 10 grand tonight. So, I'm trying to get in touch with him so we can talk to him while he wins 10 grand. Because the Boom app cares about you. I want to give your money away. I want to give money to you and celebrate your win. That's not draft. The DraftKings is a machine, just churns on. I'm trying to celebrate winners up in here. Collins just not getting the touches. He's not even bad. No, he's not bad. He's actually the best running back there. He's the best running back, but they don't like him the best. They like Allen the best. Probably gonna end up going Hyde. However, if Lindsey can keep up the yards and somehow take one to the house, that's major points. Yeah, Lindsey's speed is the difference maker. Even in that choice, of those 3 backs that you offered, Lindsey by far has the greatest chance to pop and bust a 60-yard touchdown, because that's why Matt Braid is leading the league in rushing, because he busted a 60-yard touchdown last week. Like his yards per carry isn't great. He's not overwhelming teams like Adrian Peterson week 1 or Austin Eckler last week had 11 rushes for 77 yards. That's efficiency. That's busting up a team. But without that 60-yard run, Braid is not the best rusher in the NFL. He's just got that mantle from a couple of big plays. But yeah, Alex Collins needs to cut the shit, man. Alex Collins is killing me, and it's brutal. Busting, Jerry. Yeah, it's bad. We talked about busts earlier and who's on the fence and what we do with guys like David Johnson right now. I said it before, Jack and Burns. I don't think you were here, but if you picked in the top 4 in August or earlier, there's 50% chance you are fucked. It's a family show. But if you picked in the top 4, had one of these stud running backs in your lap, there's a 1 in 2 chance you are absolutely boned right now, because David Johnson is horrible in that offense, and Le'Veon Bell's in Miami promoting his rap album. So like, I gotta figure out if I'm streaming for more. Damn, B-Haas, why you gotta do me like that? Collins having a bad week ended up not killing me despite my opponent having Green and Gordon. Did you win playing against Green and Gordon? Ew, you're disgusting, Jack. You played against 6 touchdowns and stood to tell the tale. I'm mega proud. Don't get that confused with mega proud. Yeah, Alex Collins is not getting nearly enough work. That's the most disappointing takeaway. Guys, I just learned today that if you download the Chick-fil-A app, you will just get a coupon for free nuggets. And you can sign up with your Gmail. So I'm thinking about just using, like, I have 3 Gmails. So realistically, that's 25 Chick-fil-A nuggets rounded down to 24 for your boy. That just seems like the con of the century. And you can use your Facebook. Wolverine in the chat. Wolverine, don't tell me what the step is. Tell me to start Juju last second too. Save my ass. Yeah, Jack, my guy. We freaking love it. I love it. Wolverine, don't tell me who it is. Just tell me what time it's at. Because, like, I want to eat dinner, come back, crack open a cold one, and then we'll go live for a couple hours. And while you sweat out 10 grand. Sorry if I'm making you work overtime. That's me, man. That's just what we do. Mind your boom contest on the right, boys. Boombox, send me your entry. Send a boom deposit. We got a lot of great stuff coming up this season, guys. And you want to be a part of it. You want to be on the Boom app. You want to be playing in tournaments, jackpot contests, head-to-head. I got my dude trying to turn $1 into 10 grand tonight. But I noticed in the app that our user tonight had a chance to sell his streak for $2,000. Had to turn his $1 into $2,000, no questions asked. Decided to play the streak, and now he is going to play and bet and wager and take a shot at $10,000, and we are going to watch live. So, you know, it's lit. I got to get my production ready, though. That's exciting, though. It is exciting. Boom Sweat Live. We'll do Boom Sweat Live, and we'll do a K tracker. Yeah, man. Yeah, I like this. This will work nice. But don't forget the boombox. Don't forget the boombox every week. We're gonna draw it in a couple weeks. Sick prize, lit. It's gonna be so good. So hang with us. Check down every Sunday for 3 hours. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do the Thursday show. So that's 6 to 8, 2 nights, 2, 4, 7. That's 7 hours of streaming a week times 4. That's 30 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then that rolls it. Maybe we should be doing this later because it's starting to pick up in the 7 o'clock hour. What if we did 6:30 to 8:30 next time? I feel like the 30s aren't the best, but I also feel like nobody's coming in right when it starts. What's up, B-Haas? Oh, Joel's in the chat. I didn't even see Joel in the chat. What's going on, boy? Joel, B-Haas is playing his 10K streak tonight, so we're going to take a break. I'm going to eat dinner, crack open a cold one, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to watch a certain Cy Young winner go for a strikeout total that's going to get hopefully get our winner 10K and a giant check. It is giant check season at Boom. If you don't believe me, we have giant check winners, and we have mailed them. If B-Ha's on the East Coast, I'm going to drive a giant check to his house. I could really care less. If you're close to the East Coast, I will drive an oversized check to your house. I'll rent a car to do it. I'll make a documentary out of it. Hell yeah, he's going to get that. Hell yeah, Joel. I get the CEO, Steve. I got Gary. And we'll roll out with a giant check. We're the 3 best friends that anyone can have. It's the 3 best friends that anyone can have. I hope you're hourly, not salary. You freaking wish I was. Nah, dude, we're making it pop. It's what we do for Boom, man. I got office hours. I got stream hours. I'm living. I'm trying to get y'all to get with it. That's what it is. It's Boom. It's a superior product. It's more fun. And I have more fun talking about it. Naperville, Illinois. Let's see how far that is. To Naperville, Illinois. Thanks for doxing yourself on the show. We appreciate that. Ooh, 12 hours and 12 minutes. 12 hours and 12 minutes. Where the MMA at on Boom? I can't say. proprietary information. I can't say. Oh, dude, Bihas. I could take 80 west for 790 miles. Dude, 12 hours? That's 5 podcasts, my guy. That's 5 podcasts. I'll be all over that. I'll roll up to your house, giant check. We'll throw in a couple Bubba burgers with the onions inside. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a really good time. Is there a train I could take? How about that? Imagine getting on the train with a giant check. Oh yeah, there it is. I could take multiple trains. Stephanie Tubbs Jones Transit Center, what up? Oh, it's a train. It's a bus to a train to a mega bus to, oh, this is so convoluted. Newark Penn Station. Take the 108 to Union City. Port Authority drop off. What? I could just go to Port Authority from the one bus at Vail. That's stupid. So I got to get to New York. This is the bus directions. I got to get to New York, take a Greyhound to Cleveland, walk to Chester Ave to the Stephanie Tubbs Jones Transit Center, take a mega bus to Chicago, get out at Canal and Polk, then take a bus to Union Station, 3 stops. This is all with a giant check tucked under my arm, by the way. I can make that with 1 break. Yeah, one pee break, 12 hours. Joel says I can make that with 1 pee break, 12 hours. The bus is a little bit more complicated. The bus will take me 20 hours and 29 minutes. Yo, if you don't have a car, it's like really hard to live. That's what you learn by looking up bus directions on Google Maps. Good golly, Miss Molly, that is convoluted. 20 hours. I don't have a car. I can get to Illinois in 20 hours, which is like pretty cool because like if you don't have a car, it's still feasible, but God, they should actually put a monetary value on that because I have no idea how that works. And then at any point of this journey, 10:15 Greyhound in Cleveland, like that's an overnight drive, 8-hour drive. And then you're just in Cleveland at 7 a.m. Like I was worried about the clock, like you run out, you have to overnight it somewhere. But the Cleveland overnight bus, that's a coup. That's nice. He's really scraped that out. We're looking at who's allowing the most points by fantasy in position in fantasy. So the Cardinals running backs, that's a game script thing. This Chiefs running back is not a game script thing because this is a team that probably has not trailed once this season. So for the Chiefs to be number 2 average in running back fantasy points allowed, 1 against Melvin Gordon and 1 against James Conner, but only 1 touchdown allowed each, they're giving up 21 receptions. That's bad on 25 targets. But only 30 carries and a $123. That's a solid 4 yards of carries. That's going to be a major liability. So it's like the Chiefs game is just going to be freaking wild every week. Biha says he's nervous. He's nervous. Trust my gut. I would do the same unless someone offered over 5K. That's an interesting thought process. I'd be interested. If someone, because you start with $1, Joel. I know you're going for 10K, but you do start with $1. So it would be hard to be like, no, I don't want to turn the dollar into. It's all about your pursuit of zeros. Like when I put in $20 in a DFS account, I'm in pursuit of that $1 extra, $1 extra zero. I mean, 20 to 100. But once I get like 400 in there, once I get it to climb, which is a rarity, then I want to get that other zero, right? Then I want to go one more level up, and that's where it becomes a little problematic. But I do think that that turning $1 into 2K would have been good for me. But I could see how you'd be mad if you got the answer right and wanted to make it pop for 10K. That would my gut. I'd be sick if I got it right and I threw away 8K. That's probably what Bihas is thinking right now. We're going to try to set him up on an interview, talk to him as the game goes on. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, like It's all about maximizing at this point. If I don't play it and he'll get what I predicted, then I would cry myself to sleep. You'd cry yourself to sleep on a pillowcase filled with money, though. That's the thing. But I understand. I 100% understand. 100% understand. We got to make some graphics. We got to get this ready. What time is this game on? Oh my God. This is a 10-10 start. Kill me. Guys, I left baseball to not have to do this anymore. To not have to stay up late watching baseball. Someone offered 8K. No way. Don't say that. I don't think someone offered 8K, but it is a late game. It is a wicked late game. So we're going to be up. Oh, super late. Let's close out in a couple of minutes and eat dinner. Well, you know what? I don't really need to end this early. I'm gonna hang till 8 with you guys because that's what I'm doing on Tuesdays. I'm gonna hang till 8. Don't have any more waiver questions to take, but I appreciate that. We pretty much made a waiver video that we can post tomorrow on Yom Kippur. Holla. And then we'll make some graphics. We'll make a strikeout tracker for Bihas for his bet tonight. And then we will illegally stream some baseball and figure it out as we go. Because I don't have MLB TV. I don't know what to do. Oh, no, 2, Joel, 2. 8K would have been lucrative. Yeah, imagine 8K and then you're betting 8K to win 10K on an exact number. That's insane. I would buy it for 2K and then try to sell it for 3K. Is that crazy? Do you think someone would do that? Do you think someone would do that on Boom? That's because 3K is not something you just have in your account, but it's a nice bet. 3K to win 10K, if you're a little bit thicker in the wallet, that's a nice little bet. And it's like a high stakes thing that we can all get down with. But, so I'm talking about buying this dollar streak for 2K, right? So I just spent 2K on something worth $1. But I'm going to try to sell it for 3K. So I'm making $1,000 on a fantasy app without doing anything. Jose Peraza, 2-run home run. I like the Brewers tonight, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, if I'm on gambling tilt at the same time as Bihas winning 10K, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Just kidding. I would never. It's your night, baby. It's your night to shine. We'll get the chat in. We'll get the experts. We'll get the video. We'll call you up. And then I'm getting in my car and I'm driving to Illinois, bitch. I'm on my way to you with the giant check. Giant check season in full effect. Should I use this for K count or should I have a running graphic? K count. I draw this and or I could put go Bihas and then I could just turn it. Shit, I would take 4 or 5K. I don't know how I'm gonna watch the games. I don't think it's on my channel, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna use r/MLB streams to watch, but I am gonna put the game center on. I'll show you how I'll set it up. Like I'll probably do something like this. Because I don't have MLB TV and I can't show it. Even if I had MLB TV, I couldn't show it, and then I couldn't show you like an illegal stream. Both of those things are wicked illegal. But I could do this. I could go Habsy. And then like stats here. Do stats here. So on the left we have the update. And on the right we could do like a doc tracking. We could do like strikeouts needed. What are we watching? Strikeouts needed. I could even put it like this, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, this doesn't give us what we want, though. This doesn't give us the count. Oh, it does give us the count, but it doesn't give us the total strikeouts. We have to scroll. It's less effective. I like this because this gives us the whole box and the batters coming up. This is the way to make it look. Don't say, oh, well. Say Papa Bless, man. It's about that time. We're about to do the thing. Let's go. I'm so excited for you, man. Let's go. I don't want to watch baseball tonight. I want to watch my guy win. Well, we're only going to watch as much as we need to. My mom gave me my allowance early. How does $10 sound for that streak? Ooh, Bay Area kid. Bay Area kid with the hot 11th hour offer for the $10,000 streak. B-Haas turned down $2,000 to play the streak. But now, Bay Area kid offering $10 from his allowance. You might want to get an advance on next week's allowance, Bay Area kid. That might be much more profitable for you if you were to somehow get an advance and offer $20. Wowza. Dude, even Dylan Bundy's winning right now. Like, what the hell? Come on. Come on, squad. Kluber's getting it done, though. I don't know if I'd like this. Going primetime and just chasing the baseball slate every night. This would be a tough existence. I definitely need some music playing in the background. I'm going to have to fire up Spotify for this video. Ooh, B-Haas is thinking about it. If you got his... Ooh, Joel Pease. Joel Pease has a big league chew. Guys are out of your minds. You guys are out of your minds in the Boom Fantasy chat. We love it. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, we're all live in the Boom app hanging out. We're going to go for $10,000 later. I'm going to hang out here for 10 more minutes. I'm going to eat some dinner. I'm going to make some giraffics like Jeffrey. And I'm going to get ready to come back on stream. Come back on stream and chase for 10K. B-Hot's going to chase for 10K. So hopefully we'll have another big winner. And it's going to be a night. I should probably get coffee, actually. That's probably the move. And we're going to watch Baldinger's breakdowns because apparently there's a really good one this week. I need to watch Baldinger and Ted Wynn. That's where I get steal all my content from. And Warren Sharp. God, I steal so much content. Man, the anticipation is killing me. Dude, it's a late game. The anticipation's killing you. Imagine not being able to leave the office until you watch all the baseball. That's where my last job was. But that's so exciting. Damn, son. Marlins homer. Sorry. Sorry. Dead air. Dude, we got a 10 o'clock start. So I'll come back on at 10:10. Because they're in the bottom of the inning. Are they at home? So then he'll pitch first. Yep. You got to watch all the games. That would be horrible some nights, like paint drying, boring. Oh, Joel, don't worry about it. It's the worst. It's a good paying job, but you're literally sitting in a chair watching every single baseball game until they all end. That includes Arizona San Fran at 10:10. That includes Rockies Dodgers at 10:10. That includes extra innings going into 3 a.m. That includes rain delays. Trust me, it's a good one. Rolling Stone 699 as I shit on baseball. What's going on, dude? Look who's in the chat. That is amazing. Kid finally fired it up. That's great to see a friendly face. Don't feel pressure to live stream for me, man. Haha, I'm going to be nervous as hell on the edge of my seat, so IDK I'm going to be. IDK how I'm going to be. Dude, I'm going to call you. We're going to talk on the phone while this is happening. You know that, right? I know it's Tommy Boot. I know what Rolling Stone 699 is. I know exactly who it is, okay? That is freaking amazing as I talk. Dude, I'm streaming right now 6 to 8, and then we have a player going for $10,000 for Dodgers in the Dodgers game. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to come back and live stream his sweat. This guy's turning $1 into 10 grand. If you had a chance to turn $1 into 10 grand, would you take 2 grand to not take the chance? That's kind of the thing right now. I just hit someone with a hot take. So yeah, changed jobs so I didn't have to sweat baseball. Here we go, sweating baseball. But this has been a good waiver look. Like I said, week 1 didn't do waivers because it's a free for all and it's pretty obvious who you should be picking up. Week 2, there's a lot more ifs, right? There's a lot more ifs because the injuries are starting to come in. But in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, there was no week 1. Sorry, it's only the next week because you don't waiver week 1. But after this week, when bye weeks hit next week, here we go. It is going to be prime fantasy analyst season. This is where your boy shines. Tough decisions when your studs get benched. That's what I'm trying to help you with. So keep it locked. Boom Fantasy Contest, season-long contest, any type of DFS, any type of fantasy football, standard PPR, Superflex, kickers only. I am your guy, all right? Because I paid to put the work in, right? You got your office job. I got my office job. It's prepping to help you be the best fantasy player you could be. And then I come onto the stream and I dunk, right? I alley-oop to you. I throw you the ball so you can dunk on your league mates and say, I told you so. And they'll be like, how did you know? I'll be like, I just got a feeling. That's the goal here. Chris Ivory, worth a look. It's the Bills, so I would say no. Marcus Murphy's been a more intriguing PPR option. So it's Ivory and Murphy. And so if it's PPR, I'd be more intrigued at Murphy because they're always going to be losing, my guy. And Chris Ivory's had his chance. It's kind of like Murphy time. But other than that, there are other good running backs. Whether it be Aaron Jones coming back, or Gio Bernard, or Buck Allen, Latavius Murray. Dalvin Cook's a little banged up, and Murray's going against the Bills. I'd rather have the backup. I'd rather have the backup going against the Bills than the starter on the Bills. How about that? Joel, it's about your grind, man. Joel, it's about grind, man. You got to keep up. The hardest thing for the human being to do, I'm convinced it's like the hardest thing, is to work all day, go home, and apply for jobs. It is so immensely frustrating and tiring and exhausting, and applying for jobs, it like decreases your willingness to like apply for jobs. Like, it's crazy how like they work against each other. Like, applying for jobs and actively going to make yourself better makes me feel like awful. Like, it's just exhausting and it's emotionally draining because I get hyped for things and then nobody emails back. It's really just a war of attrition. You have to lose a ton before you can win, especially working in sports, because people know, those working in sports know that everybody wants to work in sports. Like, my buddy just got a master's in statistics, and he's coming from Northwestern, I believe. And he got a job with the Yankees. And he told me, he said, I can make so much more somewhere else. Like, I live in a closet. Because they know that kids want to do Moneyball. And they can pay whatever they want. They just have to match what that degree is worth, because it's Moneyball. So once they find a minimum number that kids are okay slaving themselves for, let the kids play Moneyball. Hey, what's going on, Isaiah? Don't worry about it. We're coming back. We're going to do another show at 10. We're going to do another show at 10 o'clock. But I did 6 to 8, and so what happened is halfway through the video, I kind of bundled it up and recorded a video that I'm going to then edit down, throw some graphics in, and we can post tomorrow afternoon. So everything that we talked about in this video will appear on our YouTube channel tomorrow, which is good. And that's something that we'll get into throughout the season. We'll talk. Tuesday's going to be a talk, then I spit, then we talk. So right now we're in that later part. Dude, I'm going to come back toasted. Just kidding. I'm going to go get like a double espresso because we're going to be up. We're supposed to fast for Yom Kippur, but nobody says anything about double espresso. Shabbat shalom. Isaiah pulled up $100 because of Boom last week. We freaking love it. And somebody's going for step 8 and 10 grand tonight, Isaiah. Someone's going for 10 grand on the Boom app, and we will be live keeping track and rooting on our boy. Giant check season in full effect. You know we're out here. Sports is awesome. Doing what you love is awesome. Oh, no doubt, dude. No doubt. I waited tables for too long. I don't despise waiting tables like some people. because I grew up in restaurants. My parents were both chefs, so I was able to cash out. But I would stand in the kitchen and just go like, I'm not supposed to be here, man. I'm supposed to be talking about football. I watched 2 Super Bowls from the kitchen of a restaurant. Like, GD, that was frustrating. Never again. I never want to miss a Super Bowl because I'm freaking waiting tables for people that want to go out for dinner at a steakhouse on Super Bowl Sunday at 7 o'clock. Who are these people? Never again. Imagine Super Bowl Sunday, 7 o'clock or 6:30, asking your wife to go out to dinner. What? How do you not have friends that are like, come do this? Like, it's more of a yikes than it is like, oh, that's nice. They don't like football and they love each other. Like, get some friends and get some spinach dip and go watch the Super Bowl. Go laugh at go watch for the commercials and drink and eat. Like, I don't understand. It's an eating holiday as much as it is anything. Have I ranted enough about waiting tables during the Super Bowl? Giants Patriots 2. No. Yes. Giants Patriots 2, 2011. I waited tables for the whole first half. Brutal, man. Brutal. The first touchdown was Gronk over the middle. And I was listening in the kitchen because I was doing side work. I was getting ready to leave. So I'm like rolling up silverware like fork, knife. Fork, fork, knife. Fold, roll. So I'm doing that like 150 times. And I can hear the game. I can hear play-by-play, but it's in Spanish. Brady, Ala Gronkowski, recibe Gronkowski. I don't know if it's a touchdown, if it's a fumble. It just, every play sounded so exciting. And it made things really hard because I was like running to the bar and back. Because this is before NFL Mobile. This is before streaming football. Which, by the way, now is crazy useful. NFL streaming mobile? Are you kidding me? Super useful. I watched the whole Monday night game from this chair last night. Up on my tripod. On my phone. Just kind of like doing 2 things at once. Alright, B-Haas. Go pray. Mecca is east. We'll see you later, B-Haas. That is amazing. We got a guy going for 10 grand tonight. That's almost a regular occurrence now on Boom Fantasy. We got dudes pulling down grands every night. It's giant check season and it's comma season. It's balance. Your balance has a comma season. How's that? Isaiah coming back at 10-ish. But for like baseball. Like a baseball contest. I'll definitely talk football. I'll talk whatever you guys want to talk about. But we are going to stream on YouTube and in the app shortly after 10 o'clock to watch one of our users go for $10,000. Really nice payday. And that'll be really fun. Bang the theme song. This is a fun 2 hours. Waiver Tuesday. It's gonna get serious. It's gonna get serious. Next week, bye weeks, I expect at least double the people to be in here for waiver talk. And I'll hype it more. But this week, whatever. Go get Andy Dalton. Go get Gio Bernard. Matt Breida leads the league in rushing. Go figure. Mean on him. Mean on him. Follow us on Instagram at BoomDFS. You won't. Meme style. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to come back in 2 hours and change. We're going to watch our user go for 10K. 10K stream. It's going to happen. Wowza.